what happened in 2026 definitely was not on my bingo card. None of it actually, but it's been a journey nonetheless.
For the fans to the whole world. Yeah, baby girl, let me see you do your dance, let me see you twirl. Shake your ass in the club with your homegirls. Take a pic for the fans to the whole world.
Okay, so the first quarter of 2026. It's been a bit of a whirlwind, I should say. Yeah. Nothing prepared me for 2026 at all, especially this first quarter. It's been a real roller coaster. And I ended 2025 with 2025 was great. It was amazing. It was a roller coaster. It was a ride nonetheless. Just based off of how everything was going as far as the world, personal life. But what happened in 2026 definitely was not on my bingo card. None of it actually, but it's been a journey nonetheless. So this one was different. I'll say it just like that. So this first quarter, I lost my mom. Still unreal. I can't even put into words. Really more or less the pain of it. Because it was so unexpected. Like, my mom's been sick my entire high school career, but it really, or my entire life, I should say, but it really kind of took a turn for a lot worse when I was in high school. I was a junior in high school. She had her first heart attack. And since then, she had 14. So then at the top of this year, she goes into the hospital with double pneumonia, and ends up having a stroke. In that time, I definitely thought that this ain't the worst I've ever seen her. I've seen her literally on death's door. And at one moment, everything was cool. We're like, oh yeah, we on the other side of this. And because there were nights where I would stay at the hospital with her throughout this entire process. And it just took a turn for the worse. The doctors did everything that they could possibly do. But it was still a thing. And after that first couple of times, I was like, yo, Lord, I don't know what's happening, G, but your will, nevertheless. Because I know the life that my mother would want to live, and I don't want to put her in any space to where she has to depend on other people to be able to live, i.e. meaning she would have had a trach, and a feeding tube, and a bunch of other things, and lose her ability to talk. And anyone who knows my mother knows that that is not the life that she would want to live. So it was a really, really hard decision. They did everything that they could possibly do, and she lived a joyous life. She touched everyone that she definitely could in a lot of different means. So it meant a lot to me to be able to spend those moments with her, because I was a great son to her, always and forever. That's my dog. We were locked in just like this. So we were 16 years apart, and that was my, basically my only parent, for real, a biological parent, I should say. But yeah, that also happened in the first quarter. But on a lighter note, I've been more disciplined with my my working out. That was really one of my biggest goals coming into the first quarter, because for me, I was really intentional with the way that I wanted to plan out my 2026. I didn't want to just do a list of goals for the entire year. And I learned this from Daka. One of his podcasts or one of his videos on YouTube, it was one of the things where he I really started to plan my year out via quarters. And ever since then, I've learned that it's made more of my goals more attainable, and it doesn't seem like everything is out I'm just out here flailing or trying to figure stuff out. I have a real metric to measure whether or not I've done stuff, I've gotten stuff done, and where I can improve in those places. So one of my biggest things was to be intentional with my eating and working out, plus to run a 5K. So I've done both of those. I've worked out. Many of you know that I'm an avid runner, so I love to run. But the muscle part of it, or building in the gym, was one of the things that I really struggled with. So I got with a trainer. It's been an amazing process. He pushes us to the break, to the brim, to the limit, and then be like, yeah, no, that's just you got some more in you. And I'm like, bro, and I tell him this all the time, I would call you a liar if I didn't see results. So I'm down almost 60 pounds. I have added a lot more muscle than what I've had in the past. And he's really intentional with the goals that we achieve via ourselves and as a group. So it's been an amazing process with that. And I actually ran a 5K. I did not meet the goal that I wanted to do, but I also did not train the way I should have, because during the summertime I was running like 5 miles a day, so that would have been easy. But I kind of slacked up on my running because I was working out in the gym a lot more. So my cardio was a little bit different versus the cardio of me running. But I was able to get everything done. I just fell slightly short of my goal, which was to be in the top 10 of my age group and finish under. I did achieve one goal though. It was to finish under 30 minutes, and I was at 28 minutes and some change. I'll put up on the screen somewhere right there. And I did win a medal, which was great. I was also a part of the fastest team. So my team won. We were the fastest team. So it was an amazing process. And then I've been really booked and busy this second half of the first quarter, and it's been amazing. Needless to say, even doing this video right now is still an amazing thing, because I have been really pressing up on myself to make sure that I do content for myself and get out there and be in front of the camera, because so many times I'm always the one to, be the one in the background. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do some content for myself, and then it ends up never happening or never seeing the light of day. There are so many projects that I have buried, but I'm going back and breathing on those again and making sure that these projects that I do shoot, I'm intentional with, I take my time with, and do them. So yeah, the first quarter was a whirlwind nonetheless, but I'm still here, and it's by his mercy that I am not consumed. Thank you for all the calls and the texts and everything that you guys have sent out to me to make sure I'm okay. Yes, I'm okay. If I go ghost a little bit sometimes, it's not because of anything. It's just I'm still trying to process a lot of different things. And every day is a new day. And yeah. So grief is a process. It's a never-ending process. It never gets easier. You just learn how to deal with it a little bit differently. So I'm learning how to deal with it a little bit differently. This has drawn me and my siblings, my sisters, closer together. I'll definitely say that. because, yeah, the biggest thing I think dealing with this part of grief is wanting to call my mom. You know, like, oh, something happened. Because I know that most people don't have the relationship that I have and had with my mom. So I never take that for granted. But that was my dog. And being able to call her or text her at any given moment or day. She used to always say, I'm not one of your little friends. But the older that I got, and in my adulthood, I was definitely one of her little friends. So I enjoy spending time with my mom on the phone via, text messages, FaceTimes, anything. So that's been the really, really toughest part of not being able just to call her and just, like, hey, like, this is what happened to me today, or, some crazy joke that one of us would have. Because one of the ongoing jokes that I would always have with her is like the mega church pastors.
Good morning, Pick Me Up Church. Pastor Chad here, and happy Easter, happy Resurrection Sunday. Hey, I just want to invite you to church, because he has risen. Hell, lost another one. I am free. And we have some special events for your kids. We have the Easter Bunny preaching service for your kids. So hop on over to Pick Me Up for a Pick Me Up.
And like elevation and stuff like that. I'd be like, thank you, Lord, for today. So we would go on for hours and be weak about stuff like that. But, that's been the biggest thing. But keep us in your prayers, her brothers, her siblings, my aunt, my grandfather, just our entire family, because this was rough. And much like I said, grief never gets easy. You just learn how to deal with it a little bit differently. And yes, I am seeking therapy. But I'm just trying to find the right therapist. So if you have any recommendations, drop them below. And definitely to the next time. Peace.
When I close my eyes, I think of you, and reminiscing all the things you do.